All right. Cell phones away. Listen up. We've already talked about this before. If we want to get an angle and we have the ratio, what do we do? Negative, inverse, same thing. So sine to negative 1 or inverse sine, in this case, because it's a sine ratio. So if we want to move the sine to the other side, we can use its opposite operation, and the opposite is inverse sine. Okay, so you want to type in second sine of your ratio. So that's second sine. It is pronounced sine, not sin, even though everyone wants to say sin all the time. It's like a pet peeve of a math teacher. No, it's because it's the abbreviation. Oh, you couldn't have 4 letters. It has to be 3. Okay, so second sine. Everyone have their calculators? Where's mine? There it is. Second sine. 0.45 to the nearest degree we usually go to 27 degrees. Okay, do the next one and then we'll move on. So to the nearest degree, what's the second one? 81 degrees. Okay, 81 degrees. We're skipping warm up 2. Let's move on to example 1. So if we're looking for an angle, we might not do all 3 of these. Maybe we'll do 2 of them, or maybe 1. So if we're looking for an angle, so unlike last lesson, we had the angle and we were looking for a side, right? This time, we're looking for the angle and we have to have at least 2 sides. You always need 2 pieces of information to find the third, because our formulas always have an angle and then 2 sides, right? For the sine, cos, or tan ratio. So first step, just like we did yesterday, is do what? Label your sides based on the angle you're looking for. So based on the angle we're looking for, tell me what 6 is. And that doesn't change, that one. Hypotenuse, tell me what 4 is. Opposite, good. So then the next step, do you have to label the other side? No, because you don't have it, nor you're not looking for it. You're looking for an angle, so you just label the 2 sides you have or the 2 sides you want to work with. All right, which ratio am I going to use? So, ka, toa. Sin, no. Sine, you did that just to bother me. Sine of our angle equals opposite over hypotenuse. So write out the formula, then let's sub. Sine what? What are we calling our angle this time?
9.
A. That's an A. Kind of looks like a 9. Equals 4 over 6. And then our next step, we want A by itself. How do we bring the sine over? Sine inverse. So when you inverse sine to both sides, the inverse sine of sine, you're just left with your angle. That's really what we're doing, okay? It's opposite operation. They cancel each other out. So inverse sine of 4 over 6. So type that in your calculator. 42. Second sine, 4 over 6 is 42. Can you try B? I want you to try this one. Try B. Okay. All right. This guy. What is 19? Hypotenuse. What was 10? Adjacent. So which ratio should I use? Cos. You should have had cos B equals 10 over 19. And then you should have typed in inverse cos. Get this down, Lily. Of 10 over 19. 58. Good job. So we'll skip C. You got it?
46.
Yeah. Questions, sir? Yeah, you should write that stat. I like that stat. If it's a written response, yeah. Multiple choice? No. Show all your work. Just do what I do, and then you'll be fine. Show your work. Okay, let's talk about definitions. 2 new definitions today. These are big ones, and they're going to show up in Math 20 as well. Angle of elevation versus angle of depression. It's not as easy as you think. Okay? Students make a mistake with angle of depression, especially all the time. Yes. Angle of depression, not the depressed angle. It's not a sad angle. Angle of depression. Okay, so by definition, I need you to listen. Okay? So an angle of elevation, the angle of elevation is from a horizontal line to the line of sight. Okay? Basically, it's from the horizontal line to your hypotenuse, the line of sight. It has to start at a horizontal line. Angle of elevation, people do not have an issue with. Now, here's something that will really help you. Angle of elevation is the same thing as the angle of depression. They're actually equal to each other. And the reason why is if you think about it in terms of 2 parallel lines. Because if there's the airplane, or helicopter, I guess, there's a horizontal line that's invisible, coming straight out from him, and a horizontal line on the ground, or in this case, the sea. So notice that the angle of depression is always also from a horizontal line down. This is the angle of depression right here, okay? From a horizontal line down. What students try to do is they say, this is the angle of depression. That is not the angle of depression. Don't you dare try and do that, because is that starting from a horizontal line? No, that's starting from a vertical line. Okay? So if you are given if you're given a problem and they give you horizontal angle of depression, you have to draw a horizontal line up in the air. You're drawing a triangle that's almost upside down, like this. Like this guy right here. Okay? This would be your right triangle right there. But the good thing is, because of the properties of 2 parallel lines and a transversal cutting them, they're equal to each other. So when the question tells you, hey, you have angle of depression, you can cross that out and write angle of elevation. They're the equivalent. Yes, Victor.
So that question number 2 for the do now was an example of what?
That would have been an angle of, because you were given, it was a box, yeah, and you were given this one right here, right?
Yeah.
Oops, scroll down. Okay, so that in terms of the angle of elevation, which is equivalent to the angle of depression, would have been up here. Notice how they're the same. Okay, from a horizontal line down, from a horizontal line up. Angle of elevation from the horizontal line up to the line of sight, to your hypotenuse. Angle of depression from a horizontal line down to the hypotenuse. And they're always equivalent to each other. So if you're given depression, you can just think of it as angle of elevation.
I want depression.
Okay? So, and then this angle would be the same as this angle. Now, neither of these are angle of elevation or depressions. They're not defined as anything. Okay? Because angle of elevation and angle of depression start from a horizontal line. Horizontal, up. Horizontal, down. This is a horizontal. Do you know what a horizontal is? This is a horizontal. This is a horizontal. So horizontal line down or horizontal line up to that line of sight or to the hypotenuse. Okay? It'll always be the hypotenuse. From horizontal to hypotenuse or from the horizontal down to the hypotenuse. One or the other. Okay. So let's do a question with depression in it, or elevation. Okay. Don't be depressed. Let's look at this one really quickly. A tree is 5.1 meters tall. Now let's talk about shadows. Because some of you had some shadow questions on your homework yesterday. And this happens all the time. is when I see a student do something like this, and they put the they say a shadow is 7.5 meters long. A shadow, and I see this. Okay, where is your shadow? Ground. If your shadow's floating, that's called a ghost. And it's coming after you, and you should really be questioning your existence. So all shadows are on the ground, okay? Okay. Calculate the angle of elevation. So where is the angle of elevation here? From the shadow, the horizontal line, to the top of the tree, to the hypotenuse. This right here would be your angle of depression. Or no, angle of elevation. If I asked you for the angle of depression, you would have to draw like the top, you would have to draw a horizontal line. That is not horizontal. I cannot draw straight lines. Say that my life. Okay. This technically right here would be your angle of depression. If I asked for your angle of depression, that's the angle of depression. From a horizontal down to the hypotenuse, line of sight, okay? So we can do that, right, really quickly? Let's label our sides. What's 5.1? Opposite, 7.5, adjacent. So we are using COA, tan. Tan of our angle equals opposite over adjacent. You should be writing down your notes. Okay. So tan of theta equals what divided by what? It's 5.1 divided by 7.5. And now we're going to go inverse of that. And what do you get, Tashkarn? 34 degrees. Good. Oh, 34. Oh, they want to the nearest tenth. You're right. 0.2. 34.2. I'm not used to that. It's usually nearest degree. Okay, next question. And then we're done this lesson 4. We'll move on to 5. Okay? This is fun because you get to draw pictures. How often do you get to draw? Unless you're in our class. A boat is 130 meters from the base of a cliff. The cliff is 80 meters high. Draw a diagram to represent this scenario and mark the angle of depression of the boat from the top of the cliff. Okay, so we have a cliff. That's fun. Here's my cliff. There's a boat, so we need some water. We need to draw a boat. No offense, but my boats are awesome. I'll try again. I could do better. And then the other one's like a little smaller. Something like that. Yeah, it does look like it. Okay, well, whatever. I like my... So we have... How high is the cliff? 80 meters. Okay? And we know that the boat is how far away? And 30. Is that horizontal distance or is that hypotenuse? It says the boat is 130 meters from the base of the cliff. So which one is that? So then that would be horizontal. Okay. They want you to find the angle of depression. Okay. You make what? The other triangle. You make the triangle on top. Because the angle of depression is from the horizontal line down to this guy. Right? Down to your hypotenuse from a horizontal line down to the hypotenuse. Has to be like a top triangle. So if you want, you can make a triangle up top like this. Here's your angle of depression. This is still 130 and the height is still 80. Right? You can do that top triangle. Or anytime they gave you the angle of depression, it's also equivalent to angle of elevation of the boat. So the angle of elevation of the boat would be where? Where the boat is at the bottom of this triangle. Those two are going to always be equivalent to each other. So you can either do the top triangle, angle of depression, or angle of depression is equal angle of elevation. I'll do the bottom triangle and find elevation. It's equivalent. Okay? All right, so let's do it. Which ratio are we going to use? Tan, because we have opposite and adjacent, so let's do that quickly. Tan theta equals what divided by what? 80 divided by 130, opposite over adjacent, and we have to inverse. To the nearest degree. Yeah. Thank you. So if it was a word problem, I would want to write therefore angle of depression is 32 degrees. You know those three dots mean therefore? Seen that before? Good. In what class? Because? Yeah. If it's upside down. Oh. I did? Oh, yay, Johnson. You learned stuff. Therefore. So all this work, therefore. Oh. Sorry. Second tan, 80 over 130. I just gotcha. Back. Okay. All right, we're going to skip the isosceles. All I want to talk about an isosceles triangle really quickly, because these two sides are the same in an isosceles triangle, we're not actually going to solve the problem. We'll just talk quickly about it. Jillian, you with us? Okay, so because is it going to actually cut, will it be two equal triangles? If it's an isosceles and we draw a line down the center, will it become two equal triangles? Yes, because these two are the same, and because these angles here are the same, meaning this angle up here is the same as that one, it's going to be equal triangles. Okay, they're two equal triangles. So, and you get the vertical line down the middle will become a 90. That's basically what I want to talk about. Move only if it's isosceles. Got it? It could show up, yeah. No. But that's what you need to know. That's the big part. That isosceles triangle, when you draw, like they're going to be two equal triangles. Like, because this, right? That's all. Okay, lesson number 5. Yep. Lesson 5, moving on. Oh, sure. Do you want to circle homework for this one? Okay, we'll do that later. We'll do it all at once. Because then it's on the board if you want to, or you have that handout, right? Okay. Basically, let's review finding, let's just do B. Here. So let's just review finding a length of a side, which is what we did yesterday. Step 1. Label the sides. What is X? Because you're given 24 up there, it would become opposite. And 68 would be? It's adjacent because it's not the hypotenuse, right? Adjacent means beside. There's two sides that are beside that angle of 24. You know hypotenuse is over there, the longer side, across from the 90. So this has to be adjacent. Got it? All right, so which ratio? Do I need the hypotenuse, though? No, we don't need that one because we're not looking for it, and we don't know anything about it. O and A is tan. Tan of 24 equals x over 68. Opposite over adjacent. X over 68. What would you do to both sides? Multiply both sides by 68. Just type that in your calculator. Tell me what x equals.
30.
To the nearest whole number. 30. Okay. Okay. So let's do a couple word problems. No, I was going to skip this one. Skip number 2. Are we good to move on? I know we're skipping a lot, but it's just really repetitive. And I want you to have more time to practice. Okay, so we're just going to do number 3, not number 4. We need to talk about what it means to solve a triangle. Okay, if I ask you to solve a triangle, it means to find everything, find all the missing pieces. Okay, find all the unknowns. We have to determine the length of each side and the measure of each angle. Basically, find all unknowns. Okay, you need to know. So that no rock is left or stones left unturned. We know everything about this triangle. Where you start is up to you. So let's look at this guy. Where do you want to start? What do you want to start by finding? Angle C? Do you want to try this on your own? You can do it. Answer to the nearest whole number for everything.
Just write down the
I'll write down SOHCAHTOA, sure. SOHCAHTOA. Solve this triangle. Oops, that's not what I want. Yeah, done? Not yet. 53. Got the same thing. I can add. I don't trust myself. So you might have started by finding AB, or maybe you started by finding BC. It's really your call. Who found AB? Who found BC? What did the rest of you do? What do you mean to start? First step. Okay, I'm going to start by finding BC. So this would be our opposite of 37. So I would use sine 37 equals x over 33. Then multiply both sides by 33. And what did that give you? So the nearest whole number? 20. Okay. Now, what's the easiest way to find the last side? Pythagorean. Yeah. So would it be subtraction or addition in this case? Subtraction. So just double check that you did subtraction. So it should be 33 squared minus 20 squared. And then square root that to get, I'll call this y. Yeah. You should be using your exact value. You should. Now, to the nearest whole number, it shouldn't compromise it unless it was really close to that 0.5. So if you didn't use exact, you probably got the same answer. So, but it really should be 33 squared minus your previous answer squared. And then square root that. Which I think if you use 20, it gave you the same thing because it's low enough that it won't compromise it. So you got 26? Okay. So our unknowns were angle C. Angle C was 53. Length AB was 26. And BC was 20. We should probably write a conclusion of all the unknowns. And now this triangle is solved. And that is lesson 5. See, that's so bad. Okay, no. Oh, well, if you want, they're right here. 1A, B, E, 3, 5, and 7. Or we can go back. So I only have 2 questions I want to do from lesson 6, and then we're done. Okay, number 1, but not number 2. So, I love this problem. Carmen is a surveyor who is using a transit to determine the height of a tree. The transit is placed 52 meters from the base of a tree at an angle of elevation of 12 degrees. If the transit stands 1.8 meters high, calculate, the height of the tree to the nearest tenth of a meter. Okay, so this is more realistic if you were to actually measure angles yourself. Okay, when you measure it, you measure your angle, it's going to be from your eye up, right? Because you are not laying on the ground. You could lay on the ground, but usually you're going to stand up and then you measure it up to there. But that's from the horizontal is beaming out of your eyes like a superhero. Okay? Same idea here. Okay? The horizontal is coming out of here. This is the horizontal. And then it's measuring 12 degrees up. So when we find this x here, this guy, is that the full height of the tree? No. What do you have to add on after? The rectangle underneath, or that how high this object was, which was how high? 1.8 meters. Okay, that where it was actually, it was measuring from this horizontal line up that angle. Okay? So if we find the x that's not the height, we have to add on that 1.8 in the end. So do you want to do that? Start by finding x. Use the right triangle. What do I know? Do I know hypotenuse? Adjacent is 52, and you're looking for opposite. So, toa. Tan. Sure. So that would be tan of 12 equals x over 52. What would you do to both sides? Multiply by 52. What does that give us? 11 to the nearest tenth? 11.1 meters equals x. So what's the height? How would I get the height? Nope. This is 11.1 plus the 1.8. 12.9. Okay, last it says determine the angle the base of the transit makes with the top of the tree. So we really instead, they're saying, okay, what is this angle here? If it was actually measured from the base, instead of this where it actually measured from, what if it actually was from the ground? What would be the angle? That's what we want to know. No, close. Oh, okay, you're close. So instead, okay, what is the height of the tree? The actual height. 12.9. So if we actually, from the ground to the top, oh, I wrote 12.8. 12.9. Okay, and how the base of the what's it called, transit, is still how far away? 52. We're trying to find, now, okay, what would actually be the angle of elevation from the ground instead of from where it was measured? It won't be the same because now the height is 12.9 as opposed to 11.1 of that other triangle. Okay, so which ratio again? Opposite and adjacent is 10. 10 is equal to opposite divided by adjacent, except for we need to use inverse. And you get what, Josh? To the nearest degree, 14. You were pretty close. I was shocked. I thought you actually calculated it. I was like, that's a good guess. One more question. And this is a great written response question on a test. So I know you're getting tired, I know this is when you start to check out, but the end of the lesson is when we give the best questions that are like probably test questions. I know.
Are we doing the rest of this?
No, just this one and that's it. It's our last question. No, we have to do it today.
I think we should go with that.
Because I need to finish my recording. Okay. We're almost done, guys. We're almost done. Yes, we'll talk about that. Okay? In many problems, the angle of elevation or depression is determined from the person's eye level and not from the ground. Just like that little stand we just did. Okay? So the angle of elevation, we measure it with a device, but it's from our eye level up. Just like we did here, just on the last question. In the diagram, the man is standing 12 feet from the wall. Okay, 12 feet away. Angle of elevation is 62 degrees, which is equivalent to the angle of depression, right? His wife's in the, what?
He's short.
Something wrong with that. That is angle of elevation. Oh, I said it's the same as the angle of depression. So they gave us angle of elevation, and it would be the same. If they gave us angle of depression, you could write as either or. Oh yeah, you thought I said that? Yes, you're right. If the man's eye level is 6 feet above the ground, so this here is 6 feet above. He's tall. He must be like 6'3" or something. How many inches are between your eyes and your top of your head? 4 inches? 6'4"? He's tall. 5? I don't know. It's a good question. And his wife's eye level is 5.2 feet from the top of the building. No, it's from the top of the building, guys.
I thought that she was that tall.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with that being 5'2", okay?
I used to be 5 feet at the end of last year, I used to be 5
She
feet.
was standing on the ground and she was so tall that I thought I was fine.
Oh. Yeah, no. From the top of the building. Okay. We are trying to find the height of this building. So, we want the full height. That is what we're looking for. However, where is the right triangle? Is the right triangle going to give us the full height? No, it's just going to give us this portion here. No, because that angle is only for that. Right? The angle is different if it was from here. So you can't just add. Yes, if you find x, then we can add the 6 and the 5.2 to get our height. Right? Because this height here is 6. Up here is 5. And there's our right triangle is here. So if we get, this is the right triangle we're working with. If we get this x value, we can just add 5.2 and 6 to get the full height of the building. Okay? So let's start by finding x. We know the 12, right? This horizontal distance is 12 there. What ratio we're going to be using? So, stay with me. We're almost. Okay, do you want to just finish this question? Or together? Together. Okay. What is x called? Side what? Side what? Opposite. Okay, 12 is side adjacent, so we're going to use OA. Tan. Tan of 62 equals x over 12. All of these are multiplication ones. There's no division ones, right? You got 22.5? 0.56? Dot. 0.68. Perfect. So we want to the nearest tenth, and what are we adding together to get the full height? 6 plus 5.2 plus 22.56 or 22.6. So we're going to the nearest tenth. It will make its feet, which gives us 33.8 when you round it. There you go. Okay, we are officially done, so let's do some circling of your homework. Okay? Go back to lesson 4, page 230. Okay? 230. Let's circle the following. 1BC. Oops, that's not right. Highlighter, where are you?
You lied.
I didn't lie.
It's 244.
I'm sorry. 2BC, 1BC, sorry, and then 2A, 3B, turn the page, 4, 5, 9, 11,
Oh, what did you say?
12, 13, 14. No, it's not. Just bear with me. Just bear with me. Okay, just wait. Wait a second. Just relax. Okay, lesson 5. Hey, you should be circling these Tej countries. You all of them? Oh, good. Okay, 1 ABE, no 2. Number 3, all of 3. 5. And then 7. Yeah, 7. Okay. And then last, lesson 6. 1, 3, and 4. 1. Notice that you don't have to worry about the circle type questions. 3. And 4. Okay. So, I'm just gonna pause this first.